Today we are going to be talking about Peter Obi United. Peter Obi attack team. You see these four guys. You see these four guys. Look at them very well. One is a goalkeeper. The other is a striker. The other is a midfielder, and one other is the defender. Donyo Kukwe is the goalkeeper. Daniel Bwala is a midfielder. Reno Mokri is the striker, and Shore is the defender. Have you seen in Nigeria where the opposition attacks the other opposition? Have you seen in a country where we have a government in power, the opposition leave that government in power and they go on to attack a certain opposition? This will tell you one thing, that there's an agenda against that opposition that is being attacked. Imagine people from different political parties, even one of them ran as a presidential candidate to become president. At the end of the day, he lost, every other person lost. APC won the election, but they left every other thing they would have done, criticizing and critically assessing the government in power. They left their roles as opposition and they are attacking one man, that is Peter Obi. There is an agenda in place. Wiki attacks Peter Obi. Every other person attacks Peter Obi. Is he the president of the Republic of Nigeria? Imagine, they bring so many things, they say so many things, propaganda, without driving at a point, a reasonable point. EFC released list of former governors that were corrupt. Peter Obi's name was not in that list. That would tell you a lot. It is only somebody that has baggage with him that can be coerced by this government. If you don't have any baggage, nobody can coerce you. If you don't have anything that can use against you, nobody can coerce you into doing dirty jobs like these four Agbayas are doing. Imagine, opposition against opposition, opposition fighting opposition instead of the current government that is in power. Look at the hardship Nigerians are facing. Now, the poor cannot afford to buy anything at all. Just pure water, at least you can afford pure water. Drinking garri is luxury. Cooking stew is for the rich or the average class. If you're not having 20 to 25 million in your account, you cannot survive in Nigeria. And from statistics, 80% of Nigerians don't have that in their account. I'm just being liberal with that statistics. I don't have the actual statistics. Even 90% of Nigerians might not have it in their account. And these guys will leave the government in power that within 1 year, Nigeria has retrogressed backward. A government that supported a Buhari administration that has driven Nigeria into abyss, into hell. A government that said Buhari is the general that will come and save Nigeria. A government that started with propaganda machines in Nigeria, started with propaganda, removing Jonathan, who wanted to remove subsidy. A government that brought in Buhari, he misbehaved the first 4 years. Still, they supported him and did not critically assess his government. The same government got into power, rejected by the people, and has caused hardship on the people. These four guys did not find anything to say. Looking at the policies, the 19 billion naira for Hajj, while we have 5 billion for student loan, 21 billion naira for the VP's residents, 4 billion other billions for SUVs. They never looked at these critical things that the government is doing, the wastages by the government, but they had to focus on Peter Obi. There is a grand plot by the powers that be to give Peter Obi a bad name because he shocked them at the elections. Peter Obi shocked the whole political giants during the elections. Peter Obi is the man of the moment, the man of the season. Reno Mokri has nothing to say, but looks at Peter Obi's tweet, find how he can punch holes in this tweet, find how he can change the narrative and make people look at Peter Obi as a bad person, as a fraud, or as a liar, as whatever, as if Peter Obi is a saint. Peter Obi said that I'm not a saint, but I am not a thief. Can any of these guys prove that Peter Obi is a thief? Other than casting aspersions, trying to create a narrative in the heads of people. These are what they are trying to do. They know that the Obidient movement, Labour Party, they are gaining traction. The APC know that the Labour Party is a threat to them. So they may plan to hire people who can change the narrative. Change the narrative. Speak bad about them. Yes, they are doing PR. This is where PR comes in. Work on the psychic of Nigerians on P2B and the Obidient movement. Let Nigerians see him as a bad person. Donyo, after he said what he said about Tinubu being the best president amongst Atiku Abubakar and P2B, he came for the Obidient. What they do is they set a trap. They say something so as to warrant reactions. After they get these reactions, they start attacking his Igbo-ness because he's an Igbo. The IPOB thing. They start with attacking the person of P2B. They know that if they attack P2B on social media, it's going to warrant reactions. After they get reaction, they now start attacking him because he's an Igbo man. Somebody says that the reason why P2B is hated by the structure of criminality is because he's an Igbo man. There's nothing they see that they can hold against him. There's nothing. These people in the past years have spoken good about him. These four guys. In the past years, they have spoken good about P2B, but they come now to change their mind. I blame Nigerians that listen to them. There are people that you can fool. You cannot fool everybody. We know what they are doing. They are carrying out an agenda. This agenda is to deflate the popularity of P2B, to puncture the integrity that he has, make Nigeria see him as a choice that they don't need come 2027, because P2B is a threat to these guys and their paymasters. Imagine Showore, who was used to bring Buhari into power. A Showore who would not focus on what the president is doing, but is attacking P2B. Can't you look at it? There's an agenda these people have. Look at the Boala. They left you and Omokri. You left Atiku. You are focusing on P2B. We don't know whether you belong to the PDP or you are PDAPC. We don't know where you belong. But all you know is Peter Obi. If you are supporting the Labour Party and the Obidient movement, don't lose down your guards. Continue in your reactions. In fact, don't react under their post. Take it out and bring out your own post and deflate any of their statement. Deflate any of their statement. These guys must have been planted to make sure Labour Party does not win. These guys must have been moles that have been planted by the powers that be, or I will call them the establishment. Because in God's name, what has P2B done to these people? In God's name. The presidency of the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the failure is iconic. Inflation is getting to 40%, I believe. Is it 33%? Double digit inflation. You know what it means, inflation? They started with the dollar, baby grammar, dollar brohad. The CBN governor came and started speaking big English, gaslighting people. Now, how much is naira to dollar? Despite the fact that they said it's Binance, they said it's the BDCs, they said it's this, they said it's Forex or whatever. At the end of the day, with the big English, nothing to write home about. Don't allow these guys gaslight you. They are agents of gaslighting. They are agents of propaganda. They want to change your mindset. They want you to see the Labour Party and P2B as a bad party, a party that would have destroyed Nigeria. Who has destroyed Nigeria the way Tinubu is doing so? I saw a post online. Somebody had to put the banner of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in a market. In the market, it is a Yoruba state, though. In a market. After he put that banner, he wanted to get reactions. The reactions he got from people, somebody said he is very sure that banner will not stay there till evening. That if he goes, they are going to bring it down. the banner of the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is Southwesterner, a Yoruba man, as it were. Because I don't believe it is Yoruba Igbo thing. People that are trying to bring the issue of ethnicity into politics, they are just gaslighting you. He's an Igbo man, he's an IPOB, he supports that. They are gaslighting you. They said that it will get to a point in time, if he continues doing such a thing, they will beat him up. This is how the people detest the government. Then these guys who claim to be activists, who claim to be fighting for the people, who claim to be one thing or the other, will not focus on what they have. 1,001 things they can speak or advise this government to do. Tell Nigerians what this government is not doing well and how they can do it well. That's what Nigerians need. Leave Peter Obi alone. He's not a minister. He's not holding any post in this government. It's just an Igbo man who became popular and is being voted for and supported by the people and vying for the presidency. They say Igbos don't have leader. They don't support their own. Since democracy, Igbos have been supporting other tribes. Even the Ojukwu, who is their personal lord and savior, he was never supported by Igbos when he ran for presidency under Abga. Ojukwu. Igbos never supported Ojukwu. Then what are you telling me about Peter Obi and Igbo party? You're making it an Igbo Obidient movement. No, it is these paid actors. They are trying to change a narrative, swingle it the other way around, to make them look bad, instigate some little people, some emotional people in the Obidient movement, and when they give a reaction out of maybe emotion, they turn that into, for instance now, when somebody writes a post, somebody like Donyokuwe writes a post against Peter Obi, and somebody reacts, and the name of that person is Chinedu, then Donyokuwe will now come out and say, these are people from Baby Factory. I've told Yoruba Obedience, don't join these people. See, as they are abusing your elders, denigrating your elders. They did this to this person, they did this to Adoboye. You can see that mindset. But the same Yoruba people did same thing to Obasanjo, did same thing. They abused Obasanjo, they abused Adebanjo, they abused Adebanjo. You see how they are turning the narrative, playing with your psychic. These people are not humans. These people, I don't know what name I'll use for them. Peter Obi is the man that they want to be. I know personally, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu might go on to win the next elections. A certain APC chieftain who resigned from the party said APC can no longer win elections without rigging. So by that premise, they may win the next election. If Peter Obi is not the president of Nigeria, it is not our business. It is Nigerians that will suffer. So standing on the side of integrity, whether it pays you or not, it still pays. Supporting somebody who has a track record that is at least better than every other politician will pay. Whatever they are saying about Peter Obi, don't stop supporting somebody. If the person is from APC or the person from, if he shows to have integrity, we will know, Nigerians will know wherever the person is coming from. And Orji's or Kalu will never be supported by the Southeast. And Umahi will never be supported by the Southeast. They will never be supported. And Okorocha will never. Not to talk of an Uzodinma. Call the names. Because Southeasterners, or precisely the Igbos, they look at you and what you can do. They will be convinced by you that you can. Look at what Nnamdi Kanu is doing. He was able to convince them through his actions, and they did research on him. That's why they see him as their personal Lord and Savior. Not because if Nnamdi Kanu comes today and does something different from what is expected, they will flush him out. The Igbos, that's why you people say Igbos don't have a king. Because we don't take sides. We are not slaves to people. We call you out if you are doing wrong. So Peter Obi is not whether he's an Igbo or not. It is because the Igbos have been supporting competent people since democracy. Supported Awolowo, supported Obasanjo, supported Jonathan, supported Yaradua. These people are not Igbo people. They are not Igbo people. You understand? So don't let them gaslight you. These are agents of gaslighting. They are gaslighting people. Look at these 4 young guys and tell me what you see. What do you see about them? This one is formation. They gather and form information, attacking just one person, P2B. P2B. They are just attacking him, attacking him. What does it tell you? That these guys, they have something that is pushing them. All of a sudden, somebody is saying that these guys are being planted. Oh, Kupe and the rest are being planted to destroy Labour Party. You see, we have a structure of criminality in Nigeria. This is corruption fighting back. These guys, they are the corruption fighting back. If you want to sit down and look at it very well, what has been the guilt of P2B? What has P2B done to these people? What has it done that will warrant such attacks on his person as an opposition after he ran for the election and a party that is unpopular won that election as declared by INEC? You left the party at the center, the party in charge, the ruling party, and you were attacking somebody. Does that happen anywhere in the world? This is the structure of criminality we are talking about. These guys represent the structure. These guys and many others represent the structure of criminality. These guys, they are not looking at the betterment of Nigerians. They are looking at their interests. There are people that have interests. Tinubu is a master protester in Nigeria. He's the father of protest, according to Shehu Sani. He said it during the Democracy Day celebration. How many of these people have organized protest? The Southwest controls civil society organizations because during Jonathan regime, they mobilized. But how many people are mobilizing under Tinubu's regime? A big power protest that was held in Lagos and other parts of Nigeria is the political rules. The more you look, the less you see. The police, I was right there. The police were there guarding us. This is what I think about that protest. Do a protest so that it will not seem as if we are not doing protests. At the end of the day, what is the result of our protest? We come there, you blab, say all sorts of things and just make noise. At the end of the day, everybody go back to his house. No meaningful. The next day, Tinubu is now telling Nigerians, we need Nigerians that can sacrifice to make the country better. After all this, the next day, they used 21 billion naira still for a residence of the vice president. All the protesters have gone to bed with the Jagaban empire. There's nothing they are doing that is not for their personal interests. P2B is a threat to the establishment in Nigeria, to the structure of criminality in Nigeria, and they will stop at anything to make sure that they make him look bad. Agulu fraud, Baju and everything, they will say any sort of thing to make him look bad in the eyes of Nigeria, so that 2027 there will be no mobilization. You actually know that these people don't love Nigerians. These 4 guys, they don't love Nigerians. They don't care about you. They care about where they are moving towards to. They can use you as a ladder to get to where they want to. Most of their children are not in Nigeria. They are abroad. Nomokri is not in Nigeria. Shore is not in Nigeria. And they are the ones coming to tell us how P2B cannot be president. Obedient people, they don't care whether P2B becomes president or not. P2B does not determine the obedience. Obedience is looking for how we can change this structure of criminality and get better representation, better leadership at the helms of our affair. That is what the Obidient movement stands for. It is not all these things people are saying that P2B, what concerns us if P2B is not going to be president. It is not of our business. If you like, let him not be president. If you like, let El-Rufai become president. Nigeria must be great. We must show exemplary leadership. If not, let everybody divide and go their separate ways.